Rwanda has its sights set on Vision 2020, its strategy to transform the landlocked country. It plans to remake its low-income agriculture-based economy into one focused on knowledge and service. And stats from the World Bank suggest Rwanda is moving in the right direction. GDP has steadily increased from $1.7 billion in 2002 to more than $8 billion in 2016, at a pace of around 8% a year on average, and the economy is expected to grow a further 6% by the end of the year. But rapid growth hasn't done much to reduce poverty. Almost two-thirds of Rwandans still live on less than $1.25 a day, and with up to 40% of government revenue coming from foreign aid, the economy is vulnerable to fluctuations in funding. In 2013, economic growth fell to 4.7% after many donors pulled aid from the country following the release of a UN report. It accused the government of backing rebels in neighboring Democratic Republic of Congo. The government says it wants to become more self-reliant. It's investing in technology, such as free laptops for school children. It wants to encourage all Rwandans to become computer literate. But while investing in the future is important, it needs to do more for adults to achieve its economic goals in the next 2 years, like creating more jobs in the private sector and putting more people to work. Rwandans head to the polls next month to elect a president. Paul Kagame has been allowed to run for a third consecutive term. He says Rwanda will reach its Vision 2020 goals under his leadership. But the outcome of the election will prove whether Rwandans believe him. Adefemi Akinsanya, TRT World.
Well, we have TRT World's Africa reporter Fidelis Mbah here as promised. Let me ask you about a knowledge economy. What exactly, in Rwanda's context, does that mean?
Well, since the end of the genocide, they've been trying to invest more in skill acquisition, in trying to empower the people, especially the younger generation, because when the genocide happened, most of their teachers, most of the experienced people, their university graduates, most of them were killed. So they started rebuilding, and they feel that, the President Paul Kagame, what his vision is to empower the people so that, if they are more knowledgeable in terms of engaging more in scientific discoveries, trying to be more engaged in IT-based activities, more than just relying on the natural resources of their country.
Well, that is an essential thing to do to move any economy forward, but how is it going?
Well, it's going so well. During one of my trips, when I traveled, I went across some primary schools where these laptops were given to kids. I saw them trying to. It was not just like a show-off. Most of the schools, they had these laptops. Students, right from primary school, they had to go through lessons with the laptops, and they were specially designed. They even have a factory just outside of Kigali where this is produced locally. So it's not a case of them waiting to import it. And with this, in years to come, it will be difficult for other countries to catch up, because other countries will wait, African countries will wait until you're in the university. There are even many secondary schools where you don't even get to see a laptop.
So do you give Paul Kagame credit for this?
Well, to some extent, yes, even though some people will say it's more of a PR stunt and all that. But I think it's worthy of giving him the credit, because this initiative is actually what is driving the economy. And you see every young person wants to more like focusing on the knowledge-based activities that they are being channeled to, unlike just sitting around like where we have in other countries where you have people just sitting around, don't want to go to school. And he's also made education very compulsory. So if you don't send your kids to school, you actually stand the risk of going to jail.
Okay, well, let me ask you about the increase in GDP. It's been significant, clearly, but people outside the capital, are they feeling it?
Well, about 80% of the population live in rural areas, and most of the development is actually concentrated in the capital, Kigali. And in some of these rural settings, they involve more in subsistence farming. You still see some of the infrastructure that is available in Kigali are not available in these rural areas, and people still live below the poverty line. So it's not. It's just been like a sizable population of the country actually enjoying all these economic dividends. Most of the people in rural areas are still struggling.
Okay, Fidelis, thank you very much.